Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project, branding, that's one here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool, and we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de esto se lleva el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project, branding, that's one here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool, and we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de esto se lleva el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project, branding, that's one here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool, and we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de esto se lleva el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project, branding, that's one here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool, and we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de esto se lleva el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project, branding, that's one here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool, and we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de esto se lleva el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes.
We're just gonna let it
Money
run
work.
just a tad bit. One more time and then we'll kind of get to it, guys. Don't want to wait too long tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SC Project, branding, that's one here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool, and we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de esto se lleva el putín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work.
What's good, everybody? Mike's in the building. Welcome to another Freestyle Sunday. Very excited tonight because we have a very special guest. I think it's going to be pretty cool to chat with. Okay, we have the marketing manager for SSR Motorcycles, guys. And to be honest, you guys know I started my wheelie and dirt road riding journey, and I bought a KLX 140 RL. And a few months ago, you might be aware that I went to the Clutch Control event, and that's where we met and started chatting up. There were a couple of bikes there on display, and got to know a little bit more about the brand and understanding what they do. And immediately I had a moment of eureka. I'm like, oh my God, I should have bought this bike instead. It's way more cost effective, and especially for what I'm looking to do with it, you know, I think it'd be a good option. So after learning a little bit more about it, I've mentioned it here a couple of times on the stream, and I know you guys were curious about the brand. So I kind of figure, why not bring a specialist that can actually walk us through the brand, cost of ownership, and basically an overall understanding. Who's creating it? Who's making it? Is it an American company? If it's not, that way we get a general idea of the best place to shop for something like an SSR motorcycle. And I think this is going to be a great option for you guys to actually check out. So we're going to do what we do best, guys. Basically, say what's good to every single person that's on the stream for the time being, because you guys do know me love you long time, because you come and spend your Sunday night and show love and support to what we do here on Sundays. So we're going to say hello to everyone for now that's already in the stream, and more people usually come in through the night. By the way, you guys might notice a little bit of a change in the setup. I am looking more towards this way when I'm reading some of the chats, with some of the, I guess not feedback, I'd say, just me rewatching some of the shows over. I realized when I had the camera here, I would be looking left or right kind of thing. I kind of figured it's a little bit easier to just be reading and then looking at the screen directly. By the way, smash that thumbs up. We have a couple of people on here. It does not match those thumbs up. That's one way we keep the show running and having people coming on the regular. All right, just going to populate those real quick. We won't spend too much time, by the way. Peter is limited on time, so he's going to be here for a bit and just kind of talk with us. That way he's not killing too much time. Also, at least we can get as much information while he's here. So, solo riders in the building. What's up, guys? Just wanted to say hello real quick. Wifey's always here to show love and support. Futuristic Viper. What's good, bike fam? Mike and Anna, how's everyone doing? We're doing great, man. Very excited for tonight. To be honest, I'm a little nervous. Usually I'm good to go. Every show, it's like, let's get going. But, you know, tonight I think it's kind of special just talking to somebody like Peter. So really, really cool and very excited to kind of give you guys a little insight about a motorcycling company. Sasong Moto Vlogs in the building. Good evening, bike fam. What's up, Mike and Anna? Blessing to everyone. Yes, sir. And I know we have Governor D. Nice is also here. Nijoni's also here. We had a great conversation with her last Sunday. And definitely you guys should check that out. Her journey with Indian motorcycles, going to event and basically seeing what it's like to be an Indian motorcycle owner and being part of their partnership program. So definitely check out the entire interview. I think it's really, really dope and very engaging conversation. All right, let's see here. There we go. Mike, were you a fan of Ken Block? Ken Block. You got to jog my memory a little bit on that Ken Block, by the way. I will come back to it. We also have Juliet's in the house. That's a new face. I haven't seen that before. This is my favorite Sunday tradition now. It's a pleasure to see you. Definitely hit that thumbs up. We have a very, very, I guess, special guest tonight, so that's gonna be a good look. So but just before we do that, guys, I'm gonna make it nice and brief. As you guys know, Motivation USA is one of our sponsors for the channel. Pretty much all the parts and accessories that you see that's on my bike, whether it's the Street Fighter, the Hyper Motard, the Monster, everything else, KLX, most of the parts come from motivationusa.com. The links are in the description if you guys are looking for parts and accessories for your motorcycles. You know the deal. Hit the link in the description, shop. And here's the thing, if you're not shopping right now, you could always just shop for a friend, family, and have them use that link. That also supports the channel. It's a great way to support what we do here, and it helps with bringing on guests. getting sponsorships, so pretty much brand deals overall across the board. But we're going to keep that nice and brief, guys, because I'd like to welcome Peter to tonight's show. All right, Peter, you're on. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you very much for asking me on. This will be fun. Have I been in view of everybody while you were talking?
No, you were not.
Oh, good, because I was picking my nose.
No. You were in the green screen. By the way, he's wearing his snazzy glasses that Anna's like, man, those are cool. He was wearing pink ones earlier, which I thought were even cooler.
Hey. No, they're tomato. They're not pink. They're tomato.
Tomato. I'll take it. So I'm just going to kind of quickly brief you guys into Peter's background. He's the marketing manager for SSR motorcycles. For you guys that are not familiar with the brand, just like me, I mean, I've seen some smaller bikes by SSR, always kind of somewhat either neglected or kind of past it kind of thing. And never really had a really big understanding of the brand. And I'd say a few months back, I was invited by Mr. Black Moses to the Clutch Control event, and while I was shooting the event and doing B-rolls and stuff, I walked past the booth and we started chatting up for a bit, and I instantly had this instant regret after you started telling me about some of the cool stuff about the SSR bikes. So, tell us a little bit about how long you've been with SSR and what do you do?
I got to go back one step. I hate
Okay.
to correct people, but it's SSR Motorsports.
Motorsports
Is the name of the brand.
Okay.
And that's also the website. It has an S on the end of it. And SSR Motorsports, oddly enough, contrary to what most people think, is actually an American company that was started 21 years ago by a Chinese American. And he has, about 4 or 5 companies, different manufacturers, make the motorcycles to his specifications and to the SSR brand. And then if any one of them, starts to lose quality or something, then he just changes to another factory who can make that size model to his specifications. So being a person, he's not a corporation, he's just a guy, and he's got a brand in America that's been around for 21 years. And we have over 350 dealers. So that's quite an achievement on its own right there.
That is a really big deal. That is a really big deal. You mentioned this to me at least when we were just walking by, and I think there's a little bit of a stigma when we start talking about a bike
Chinese.
Sorry, Chinese. Well, just to kind of, I'm trying to phrase it lightly. He's going straight to, he's like Chinese. But when we start talking about a Chinese manufactured motorcycle where people don't completely have a full understanding, they might think that it's subpar or not up to speed to everything else. But long story short, when you mentioned to me, hey, this is by an American that designed it here, basically they're using pretty much what everyone does. Even Apple computers does this. They kind of create things here, but then they get it manufactured at the most cost-effective place. I'm assuming which would be China, correct?
There are no Nike sneakers made in America.
Exactly.
Your iPhone, your computer, and there's as everyone knows, there's been a pushback because there's been a lot of junk that has come out of China into the States. Scooters, for instance, you could buy for $700. You just can't get parts. You just can't get it repaired. But we have a warehouse full of parts. We have warranties on these things for a year, and they can be repaired. We have dealerships, so the customer gets taken care of. And the stigma is wearing away. I worked for another brand made on the other side of the Pacific that's not Japan, and people would resist it, but that's gone away. I mean, people ask me, where's this made? And I say, well, it's made where pretty much every brand you can name has motorcycles named or made. And they're like, oh yeah, you're probably right. And we bring in, SSR is our brand, but we also are the distributors starting in 2023 of the brand of QJ motorcycles. And that's Quanjiang, which is a huge corporation, and they're owned by Geely. and Geely owns Volvo, and they own I can't remember who else. Oh, they own Lotus, and we have projects, or Geely QJ has projects with Harley Davidson, with MV Agusta. So there's a lot of mixing going on here, between these different brands and different companies. So QJ is quite an international company. They have designs in Europe and in China, and the manufacturing is in China. So it's not just wholly within China, and that's it. That it has an international reach, both in the design and development and in the sales. And QJ Motor is also moving into Europe right now. But SSR is available in the United States, only the United States, and that is not going to change in the foreseeable future. SSR also is all off-road, from 50 cc's to 450 cc's.
Yes, sir.
So it has all the pit bikes, which are basically kid bikes that adults like to ride. So we have versions with stronger springs on them because we know what the end use is going to be.
By the way, Peter, just wanted to tell you that one of our viewers' name is actually Peter as well. He said your name's amazing. It's that song. He rides a BMW S1000 RR. So very excited to see that you can kind of correlate with people already that's watching. That's great.
Yep.
But go on. I had to mention that because I'm reading everything as we're talking.
Oh, well, I don't know where I'm going. There's an overview of what SSR is and what QJ is, which is our major brand that we're a distributor of.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just creating all the marketing material for that. Like here's a page out of our brochure that I'm just proofing, which is why it's in black and white. We're going to be at the AIM Expo on February 15th in Las Vegas, but that's only open to dealers. It's not open to consumers. They tried that back when it was in Orlando one year, but it was just too hard on the aftermarket companies, I guess. Now we also are a distributor for Okai bicycles, OKAI, which are electric bicycles and electric scooters. There's 3 or 4 different versions of stand-up electric scooters. 2 bicycles. One's a 750. What's that? Watts. And the other one's a 1000. Okay. And those are a lot of fun. And then we're bringing in another brand of electric scooters, sit-down scooters. The Okai are stand-up scooters. So these are sit-down scooters that look like scooters, have the underseat storage, and have the performance of either like a 125 or like a 50 cc scooter.
So one of the people that are watching, they're asking, would one of the pit bikes be suitable for someone that's 230 pounds, or would that be considered to be too heavy?
That I would get at least the geez, I don't know. The 189 is the largest of the real pit bikes. Then we go to a 300. I'd get the 300. I mean, a small pit bike. Plus, it's hard for me to imagine. Well, I suggest go to a dealer. You go to our website, SSR Motorsports, and up on the top there's dealer locator, and click there and go to a dealer and sit on the bikes. I only weigh like 170 pounds, and that's only recently. I most of my life I weighed 140 pounds, so I don't really know that experience or how things function personally. So, but I suspect we make a jump. We got a 150, 125, 150, 189. I think that's the biggest little wheeled bike we have right now. Yeah.
So I just pulled it up in between you answering that question. So 300cc full-size dirt bike, 6-speed manual, right? 30.84 horsepower at 95 RPM, aluminum alloy frame. Seat height is 37.4. I think you should be okay. I mean, that's pretty hefty for
yeah, that bike would be fine.
SSR Motorsports 300cc dirt bike. And by the way, guys, there's a lot that we can talk about here, and there's a reason why Peter is here. I feel like this is an amazing value for you guys that are tuning in and watching this, and potentially might grab one of these SSR Motorsports dirt bikes, because as I mentioned before, my bike was between $5,000 and $5,500. So let me give you guys the lowdown right now, okay? I'm not saying that they're cheap. I'm just saying it's really cost effective, especially for a dirt bike. You intend to kind of ride it and beat it up a little bit, dump it. Your entry price point anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000, based on where you want to go. Right? Do you agree, Peter?
Price point is great on these bikes. And there's, if you want to learn more, there's a guy on YouTube called
ClutchFirst.
What?
ClutchFirst, which is us right here. You're gonna stay here because we're gonna bring you as much information on SSR.
Well, this guy, he's like, we don't pay him, but he's our best friend. MX Revival. And he does tests of the 300, and he does improvements on the bike.
Okay.
So he's a good thing to check out, MX Revival. I need to meet this guy and thank this guy because he's just doing us a wonderful service, and I don't even know if he's ever visited the place. I think he's in Northern California.
Is he a sponsored person by you guys, or he just goes out and buy the bikes and then he just does what YouTubers do?
He just goes and buys them and does his thing.
Okay.
And it does a great job for us. And the first time I saw him, I'm like, how much do we pay this guy? And they're like, oh, we don't even know him. And I'm like, what? But and the entertaining thing about it is, well, it's not, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I wouldn't say it's entertaining, but he rarely says that this is an SSR motorsport bike. He keeps saying, my Chinese bike. This is my Chinese bike.
Well, if you guys need someone to sponsor, I'll dip out on the KLX 140 and then start going straight SSR Motorsports, and then we'll start doing some reviews on it, saying the correct name of the brand.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, hells yeah. Let's make something happen, man.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, because again, so I'm joking on here, but for real, if you guys definitely want to have somebody kind of look at the bikes and review and so, even if it's a long-term loaner, that'd be amazing. So here's the thing that I thought that was even more impressive while we stood there and chatted. By the way, as I was shooting the event, I got so taking into the bikes that I was just standing there for a good while just talking about it. I'm remembering me standing at Kawasaki debating, do I get a TTR 125 because it has the Kickstarter and also it has the electrical starter? Then I had to make a solid decision on what was going to work best. The wheel stands, which was going to work best for me also. Disc brake, that was another thing. There was so much that I had to compromise on picking the right tool for the job. And as we stood there and spoke about the bikes and stuff, I saw the samples you had there. Both bikes had Kickstarters and electric starters, had disc brakes. Pretty much, there was very little compromise and at a lower cost. It was unbelievable to me. I'm like driving back, banging my head on the steering wheel, like, oh my God, why? So, I mean, granted, I still enjoy the KLX immensely, but I just thought it's a great value and people need to know about this and someone has to talk about it.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really have anything new in those lines. They're all doing well. And like I said, we have from 50 cc's to 450. We even have training wheels for the 50 cc. Oh, we also have a tiny electric. Looks like an off-road bike. I don't know if it's for the backyard. I wouldn't take it out.
You know what, Peter? I'm going to let you talk while you're talking. Let me pull up the site because people are very interested in this. Another person mentioned here the SR 450S MSRP is $5,499. Actually, that I could have gotten a way bigger bike, a better bang for my buck. This is exactly what I'm talking about in comparison to what I paid for the KLX 140 RL. So just that's a 450. Mine is 140. Right? So you could have gotten way better value. So I'm just going to put up the site while Peter kind of go through it. Go ahead, Peter.
I don't have the site in front of me. It's hard for me to go through it.
You were talking. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you. By the way, guys, while Peter's talking, you will be looking at the site here. These are some of the pit bikes, by the way. There's a couple of others you could look at. So 160cc. Go ahead.
We have two 250s that are can be licensed. They're off-road and on-road, but we're replacing those for 23. but we don't have the replacements up on the website yet. We're going to have them at the AIM Expo. And we switched to what we thought would be a better brand with a more promising future. And we're actually going to bring in a couple even larger bikes than what we have on the SSR lineup. But I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that yet. But after the middle of February, that will all be on our website. And those are pretty fun looking. And I need to go ride them when I'm out in Vegas for the show and out in Los Angeles at the mothership. Because I actually work on the East Coast, which is why I was able to see you at Mr. Black Moses at Alan's thing. Alan's great. I've known him for years. And it's great to come and do his event. Yeah. And I'm from the Northeast, so it all fits in. So, and there's a lot of motorcycling is like two worlds. There's east of the Mississippi, and then there's California, and there's a lot of space in between. But it's California is it's almost like a country of its own. It's different riders doing different things with bikes than on the East Coast. Like nobody drag races in California, which is weird.
By the way, while you're mentioning the coast, I just pulled up the SR160TX. I think that'd be a fairly close purchase to the KLX14. That's my reference point here, guys. It's coming in at $2,499. I mean, that's super cheap. We're talking about that's your exhaust at this point on one of your super bikes. You can get one of those and kind of really just have a blast, really, because I've been raving about how much fun I'm using, rocking with mine. It goes up to 8,500 RPM, 4-gear transmission, and also I don't know if you guys mentioned, if you notice here, it does have the Kickstarter, right? Disc brake in the back, and I'm assuming the replacement parts for these models wouldn't be too expensive, right, Peter?
Right, and we have them like I said earlier.
What would be a cost at something like that for? Let's say if you were to dump it, or you had to do some fairing replacement, because I did dump my bike a few times, and I had to replace the fairings on it. It cost me, it wasn't too much, like $50-$60. They weren't too expensive, but I'm assuming something like this would be fairly inexpensive as well.
Yeah, the parts are pretty comparable to what the price of the bike is. The relationship to the price of the bike. The prices definitely cost less than components from the other manufacturers. So it's all reasonable. It's all there. Like I said, we have warranties on them. We have service departments. We're adding dealers. I don't even know what the number is. I just know it's well above 350, which is really good penetration across the country. And we're in a little trouble now because we used to just be able to add any dealer who came up to us and seemed qualified, but now we have to find out where they are because we need to protect each dealer's area. So we have to make sure we don't already have a dealer too close to where that person wants to have a dealership. So it's going good, and we're in a lot of big stores now, like Ride Now.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm salivating right now. I'm on the site. Okay. By the way, as we're talking, the viewers will see what I'm looking at. It's the SR300S. Again, disc brake in the rear, electric starter, Kickstarter, aluminum premium frame, 21 and 19 tires, 6-speed transmission. It's 4-stroke liquid cooled. My bike is air cooled. This is just all kind of wild. Really, really cool. Very exciting. I mean, I could definitely see someone like just being on this bike and just having a really good time and not. It's just, I feel like maybe it's just the exposure just need to be talked about a little bit more because overall, this is an amazing value, really.
Well, we found out that one of our best sales tool for getting new dealerships is current dealers because they don't have problems. They don't have bikes coming back unfixable, pissed off, buyers. That everything can be taken care of. Anything that goes wrong can be fixed. It's not, not too many things go wrong. So dealers tell their friends who are dealers, "Oh, I got great thing with these. And
So
we've had dealers that carry really impressive brands that I never thought would want to carry our brand. I mean, we get into metric multi-lines, which are great dealerships to be in. But to get in a dealer who only has American brands, I thought, well, that's really an impressive step for us to be making. So that's pretty cool.
the other thing also, I'm just going to be doing a lot of cross reference and like comparison also, because I just want people really to see the value of this and what it means to be able to find like an amazing deal. For example, I know in most dirt bikes you need like an 8mm, maybe a 10mm socket, and probably 2 wrenches that you could get pretty much everything done on there. I'm assuming it would be the same as well, right?
Oh, I'll assume with you, but I have no idea.
Well, I've gotten my hands dirty, so I could say at least on most dirt bikes, 8mm, 10mm socket, here a little wrench.
Yeah.
You can pretty much adjust pretty much anything and everything on them and stuff. Or a flathead screwdriver for the... Are those carbureted, by the way? Well, the other one's liquid cooled. It has an electric starter too, so I don't think they're carbureted.
They are currently carbureted.
Carbureted, okay.
And they will, in the not too far off future, they will have VFI.
No way.
Yeah.
If they stick to that in the same price point, that's going to be out of this world, in my opinion.
I don't know if it'll be the same price point, but it'll be, within a reasonable range of it for sure. I mean, because it's a price point brand, and it's important for us to maintain those low price points. So every attempt is made to keep them, within there, because that's what gives us such an advantage. We did really, really well during COVID.
Okay.
And not that we're done with COVID, but 2021 was a bad COVID year. All right. And people bought motorcycles like crazy that year. It's really weird. And the problem for many brands, they couldn't get their bikes. And so you might have noticed showrooms are half empty.
Yes.
Because they can't get the bikes. And it's part with the shipping problems and part with trying to get chips. We didn't have any problems. So we had bikes. And so our dealers were really happy, and it pushed a lot of people over to our brand that hadn't known about the brand. But then they found it. They found they could get the bikes. They found they were at a great price. So that really exploded the number of units we were able to sell. Things quieted down in 22. But we knew they would. Mm-hmm. But if you take out 21 as an anomaly, 22 was still ahead of 20. So we still are increasing our sales. But I mean that was COVID sales. I was hired at the end of that year, and I told them, when the sales go down the tubes, don't blame me for being terrible marketing, because it's going to happen. And they knew, they saw it coming. So.
But that's why we're gonna cross path, and I think I can help them move some units.
Oh sure. Oh yeah. I mean, we'd like to get bikes out to those who are have an audience, and have a community that trusts them. That's a wonderful thing. So influencers, as I guess they're referred to, or you are. So yeah, definitely. But on our street line, I'd like to mention that a little more, the QJ motor, because we're going to have a 750 adventure bike, mm-hmm. a 700 twin cylinder street bike, which is a real popular size. A lot of brands have that like 650 to 800 cc twin street bike, because being just a twin, it broadens the power band, so it's not a peaky engine. You have good power from low RPMs on up, nice and smooth. And then a 550 cafe racer looking bike. If you click on QJ Motor on our website, you can go to the page that the home page for QJ, and then there's a link to click on each model. And then after that, we've got 2 400s. One's a naked 400. One's a full-bodied, like replica racer 400.
Okay.
It has the same sort of performance as the Kawasaki and the Yamaha and all the other 400s out there. So I'd like to get that out in a racetrack. And then we have a 300V twin, which when I saw it, I was stunned because it's beautiful, And I knew I had to go ride all these bikes and test them and see what the heck I'm marketing. And I thought, well, it's just a 300 V twin, but I got to ride it. It blew me away. I love that bike. And it sounds like a 750. I don't know how they did that. But it's, I mean, it's only 300 fast, but it's a great bike. And it has a 27.5-inch seat height. So it's a great bike for women, for new riders, for anyone who doesn't have long legs. It's a great, easy bike to feel comfortable and confident on. And then we have a 135 with 13-inch wheels, like all those other, like the Grom and so on and so forth. But this is a 135 5-speed transmission. It outperforms all the others. And then 2 scooters, a 150 scooter and a 50cc scooter.
So,
and
I have a quick one I have to throw in at you right now. Another viewer mentioned here, ask how's the aftermarket support. I don't know why I mentioned why it says ask. I already know what you're asking for. How's the aftermarket support?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love that question. The QJ Motors stuff, is he asking about QJ or SSR? SSR, there's some aftermarket stuff. I don't know exactly where and what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Probably MX Revival knows more than I do.
Okay.
But on the QJ Motor stuff, it's all new coming in to America. So there isn't really much of any aftermarket I can speak of. But the 135 is, well, let me just say this. QJ Motor also owns the brand Benelli. And the QJ Motor motorcycles share platforms with the Benelli motorcycles. So if anyone's heard of the Benelli TNT 135, the QJ SRF 135 is the same platform. And the small bikes have a huge market interested in customizing the bikes. And there's an event every year, the small bore event at Barber Motorsports Park. And the founders of that event are MNNTHBX. And they're a wonderful aftermarket company. They really own the small bore market. And they have one of our bikes, an SRF 135, and they're modifying the heck out of it. And it's going to be on display at the AIM Expo in February. And so all these aftermarket parts for the 135 are going to be immediately available, including a pipe that they co-made with a well-known aftermarket exhaust company.
All right, Peter, I'm going to have you hold that thought for 1 second. Just wanted to say a big thank you to our sponsors here, guys, that are part of the channel that supports us. By the way, just want to say a big thank you to every single person that actually shot Manscaped last Sunday when we kind of ran their promo. As you guys know, always appreciate the love and support. So definitely hit the link in the description. Check out Manscaped and buy yourself a gift so that way you clean for the ladies and ready to go. Also, treat someone else that you know and love. We're going to roll that promo one more time and then we'll get right back to it, guys. Let's welcome Manscaped to FreeStyle Sunday, a proud sponsor. Boy, I'm excited to tell you guys it's something you're gonna have to get. Manscaped is the absolute best when it comes to men's grooming down there. Trust me, I'm good to go. Wifey would agree.
That's right.
They also provided the Performance Package 4.0. You can join me and 7 million other men worldwide by using coupon code CFNY20 for free shipping and 20% off. You won't regret it. You hit me up later, be like, man, when I got off the bike, I felt good and fresh. The Performance Package 4.0 is an absolute game changer. Here's what comes in the package. The Lawnmower Trimmer 4.0, Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer. It also includes the Crop Reviver Toner, and my favorite out of everything else, a high quality boxer. It's absolutely breathable. So when you're out there on the road riding your motorcycle all day, you're not gonna sweat through it, especially with ball deodorant in combination with those boxers. Trust me, you're good to go at all time, guys. They also even include a travel case. Amazing value. The Lawnmower 4.0 has advanced technology with a ceramic blade that's going to tremendously reduce the chance of you nicking yourself. Get 20% off with free shipping with code CFNY20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code CFNY20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tool for the job with Manscaped. All right, guys. You guys know the deal. Shop for someone, shop for yourself. Use coupon code CFNY20 and help the channel grow and keep moving forward. And we keep bringing you amazing guests like this. All right. Peter.
Yo.
Always got to be rocking with the promos. See, let's get SSR part of the channel, man. It's going to help.
Possibility, because we did an ad, a 30-second ad. It's on Sunday mornings on Fox Sports 1 at 11 a.m. Well, sometime between 11 a.m. and noon. So it's a wonderful, fun ad. I wrote it.
Well, that's one thing we love doing on our side. We like doing marketing and stuff, so we can definitely come up with something creative with the bike or shoot something really cool as well. Yeah.
There you go.
So back to what we were saying in regards to aftermarket support. Personally, also after looking at the bikes and seeing any other dirt bikes, most of those platforms share very similar design. I feel like most parts will more likely fit on those. And if you could look through some of the other riders that's already purchased some of those, some people are modding them themselves. So, I mean, it's a great potential. I think it's an opportunity for people to start getting their hands on those bikes. The more riders they get on those motorcycles, the more likely they'll grow a larger aftermarket support for it also. So keep that in mind. So we do our part. We all kind of benefit out of it as well.
A lot of the models have similarities
Mm-hmm.
to other metric brands, and it's not an accident. So there are a lot of things that bolt right on. So let me mention also, if you go, I've only been with this company a year now.
Oh wow.
Jeez, what day is it? A year and 3 days. Yeah. So we have a 4-page insert in the Supercross program, in the motocross program, in the Loretta Lynn's amateur program.
Okay.
And we also sponsor the Legends and Heroes Museum that goes to all the Supercross and the motocross races. So we're making a big push in the off-road stuff, which is really going well for us.
So you guys are doing a lot of newsprint promos, or have you guys started tackling? Because you did mention you guys did a promo also that's live on TV, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, yes.
So are you guys looking into pretty much any kind of social media outlets as well? Because that's a pretty powerful tool as of now, I would say.
I don't have enough staff right now.
Mm-hmm.
We are on social media with all of our brands, but it's not as active as I'd like it to be, because if you're not paying that social media, they are limiting who sees what you post.
Yes.
And they will, if you post something that looks like a business, they'll send you a note. This looks like a business. You want to buy an ad? And if they send you that note, they're basically telling you, yeah, we're limiting how many people are going to see this anyway. So,
well,
because
that's the thing, though. I think that's the opportunity that we have here also. I think I've seen this happen also even with my personal social media. And I think that's why it's very important that you have organic interaction where people are just genuine, like the gentleman you spoke about a little bit earlier. He's just passionate about it. He's doing his thing. And I think the more people that gets that opportunity, whether it's behind a paywall or not, is going to drive interest. Like, for example, guys, by the way, if this is the first time of you hearing of SSR Motorsports, definitely let me know in the live chat. Because for me, until a few months ago, I've never really heard of it. You know, I was looking at all of the other brands and stuff. And as I mentioned, for me, it was just like, I wish I knew this, because that was my biggest struggle in the very beginning. Because my initial idea buying a bike like this was really knowing that it's going to be, worked over, dumped in the dirt or something like that. And I think when you're in a budget between $3,000 to $5,000, I think, it's a perfect place to be. So it's something that I feel like anybody that's in the motorcycling community should be fully aware that it is not just like some Chinese bike like the guy mentioned. Listen, the creator of this product is actually American. They're just producing it. Pretty same thing. It's like the Ducati Scrambler. That's being made in Indonesia, I think. Unless you're buying a Panigale or something like that, or Street Fighter, one of the bigger flagship bikes. Some of those are not made in Italy, so heads up. So you're seeing a lot of that stuff, just like you mentioned a little bit earlier, Peter. A lot of brands and manufacturers are basically designing their main product here in the U.S., but then factories are producing it elsewhere. So it's not a very uncommon thing.
No, it's the way of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, and it's also, it's a good thing, because the more you mix up economies, the less political strife there is between countries. You know, Japan is not going to invade the United States.
Oh, I don't know, man. We're in a pretty big hole right now.
They've invaded us with their products, and we love them. So, you know, it settles things out, you know, and it makes people get along better. But not to, well, we're not going to get into politics, because there's a bit of strife in the world right now. But it's just motorcycles. That's all we care about, are motorcycles.
I agree. If it's on two wheels, go ahead.
I should mention the QJ. We're also bringing in an electric off-road bike, and so that's pretty cool. Thing will go 47 miles an hour, and the thing, it's just torque all the way. You just turn that throttle and go. Doesn't stall, doesn't stutter. You know, just I can't wait to ride that thing off-road. And then we're bringing an off-road scooter in, which performs like a 125 scooter. But it's got the same, you know, you can put your groceries underneath the seat and have your kids stand on the floorboards. No, don't do that.
Oh, man.
But in some countries, well, we're not a scooter country. I hope they change that. I like scooters. I've had a Vespa, I had a 62 Vespa, and I've had newer scooters than that. I like scooters, but I know motorcyclists, you know, scooters are utilitarian transportation. Motorcycles are an enthusiast item. So, well,
we're kind of enamored with like the sound of the exhaust. This is why I think it's difficult for us to transition into electric and stuff like that. So everyone loves the sound and the smell and everything else. So it's a tough transition.
Yeah, we're destroying the planet with it, but God, I love it too. And I went road racing, so I've done my part to help destroy the planet.
Oh my. Oh man. Let's see, like more information.
But it's, you know, two wheels are a lifestyle, you know, which is why we're talking, which is why we met, which is why there was that event, you know, which is, you know, our motorcycles are part of our identity. You know? Exactly. What do you ride? Yeah, you meet another biker. What do you ride?
I have another great question here, by the way. Hopefully you can kind of clarify that one. I'd like to know more information. Well, I said info here, but I said more information on what makes SSR Motorsports stand out from other manufacturers. What's different?
Well, the main thing we've been talking about, it's a price point product, and price point is a great motivator, but it's a price point product that has support, that can be repaired, that has dealers, that has someone you can talk to. You know, we just hired a new service manager for the corporation, and he used to work at another brand for 25, 30 years. He was a mechanic for a motocross team or a supercross team. So I'm really looking forward to him blossoming. Don't call him tomorrow with issues. He's still learning. So, but he's going to be great.
Well, for me, I could partially answer that because I haven't ridden one yet. Hopefully Peter can get the ball oiled here and kind of get me on one of these things.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. And I could give you guys my long-term overview of it, pretty much quite a few things. You guys have seen some of the content we produce on the channel, but I think what's cool about it, I've mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I would like to make that very clear. Liquid cool, disc brake in the back, no drum brakes, no dated drum brake, electric start, kickstarter. Basically, you're not going to have to compromise on pretty much anything from what I've seen. It has a kickstand. I remember one of the bikes I was potentially going to get, it had some stuff, but it didn't have the other. It didn't even have a kickstand, right? Which is fine. And I even had to compromise on the KLX where it doesn't even have a key start. It's just keyless, really. If I leave it somewhere and run in to go get like a drink while I'm hanging out, somebody could just go with it. So it's just one of those things I had to compromise. On this case, very few. Go ahead.
Many of our SSR models don't have keys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the one small thing I could say. That's the one thing.
I just didn't want to mislead people. But we do have SSR keychains.
So with all of those, okay, even so, let's say if we did remove that out the equation, the key for the ignition, we're talking about having everything else that you could opt in. You have to opt out when you're getting something else, right? And you have all those things, and then the other part of that is you're paying a fraction of that cost. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. And you know, within the first week of owning this, going to the dirt, you're gonna dump it somewhere. You know, it's bound to happen and cause some issues with it or anything like that, where you dump it on the grass, the dirt, or the track or whatever. And it's not gonna hurt as bad, you know. And I've mentioned this before. I'm like, hey, on the KLX, you guys seen me show you clips of me dumping this bike or crashing it, right? And I've mentioned to you, it's one of those, you know, pros of having that bike, because it never really bothered me. You know, I initially went in, it only started becoming a little bit more of a thing mentally, because now it's like, oh, I could have gotten an SSR and that would even hurt even much less. so that's pretty exciting. So I think overall, it's a fairly good deal, and it seems like something you can get pretty much anywhere. They do stand behind the product, and you can definitely get support. So that's a good start. And you guys know, if I didn't find something passionate about a brand, I would not be on here talking about it, in my personal opinion. But I'm looking forward to kind of give you my own feedback when I ride one of these and everything else. But, you know, it's really cool looking overall. I was pretty blown away when I first saw it with pretty much all of the things. And I told you myself, I was like, oh, I had to opt for this or not get that kind of thing. That was one of the first things. It was like, no, you can't even, you don't have to do that. Just pick the bike you want and the size kind of thing.
Sounds good.
I went a bit on a tangent on this one, but I get a little excited when it's something that I do like. So let's see here. Anything else? Somebody else made another comment here. I just want to kind of pull this up real quick. There's quite a few of them coming up and stuff. And there's a few more people showing up and comments are going up. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think I've covered everything, but if there are more questions, yeah, sure.
Yeah, guys, if you want to throw in any kind of questions that you might have for the SSR Motorsports company, and you want to kind of know potential, as you guys know, I had the site on the screen. There's so much more to explore and kind of see and get a general idea of what you can get, how long you can stretch your dollar. So, I wanted to ask you about tires and stuff like that. Are they tubeless, or they actually have an inner tube? I had to ask about that too.
They have tubes.
They have tubes. Okay, so pretty common.
I don't know about all of them, but most of them have tubes. Yeah. The QJ Motor Adventure bike doesn't have tubes.
Okay.
And that's a high-end bike. It comes with Brembo brakes, KYB suspension. So it's pretty neat. You know, like I said, the brand has international reach, you know. So that's pretty nice. And that bike I rode and I forgot about what it has on it, but riding it, I'm like, wow, these brakes are great. And the suspension is, you know, it's really nice. And I realized, oh yeah, it's got the Brembo and the KYB. So it's pretty neat.
Would you say there are more well-known, how do you call it, outside of the U.S., or they're just making grounds here in the U.S. now?
They're just now going worldwide.
Okay.
They were just at the EICMA show in November. And or was it Intermat? No, it was EICMA. And they're just moving into European markets, and they're South America. Yeah, they're going worldwide right now. Just a big worldwide push right now. Yeah.
So what would you say if anybody had that budget and they were in the $5,000 price range, and they were looking for a bike, and they were comparing. What would you tell them, or at least what would be a key few things that you'd point out to say, hey, this is where you might want to go in comparison to what's currently on the market?
You mean for the SSR bikes?
Mm-hmm.
The 300 has been more popular than the 250 and the 450.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure why, but the dealer reps, they're at the front lines, say that's the bike the dealers prefer. It's the bikes the consumers prefer. So I would steer people to the 300.
Do they stand behind it for a year, or what's the warranty or mileage?
I think it's a year.
A year. And maintenance on them, are they hourly?
I don't know.
Yeah, because most of these dirt bikes in that space, they tend to either work between a 24-hour, 48 hours of riding, and then you do oil changes. Not major service or anything like that, just changing the oil a little bit more frequent and stuff.
I stand corrected. The warranty is 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right, cool. So I'll definitely go through that a little bit more thoroughly and stuff. You know what? I would actually really like to get my hands on even one of the manuals, actually, just to kind of get a better understanding. Even just kind of I see there's a dual sport also of this.
I could get a link.
Yeah,
those are the ones I said they're going to be replaced. The
Okay.
250s. I could get a link to a digital owner's manual.
Wow, those are really cost effective too. 250. I guess they're gonna be replaced with to 300, right? They look like supermotos. Let me pull that up so everybody can see that real quick, guys. Hold on. Let's take a look at this real quick. Those are street legal? Because they look like they have headlights and everything else too.
You're looking at the dual sport?
Yeah, dual sport enduros.
Yep, those are street legal.
All right, let's take a look, guys. These are really cool. Also, they're not even $5,000. Oh my God. $3,500. Not even 35. $3,459 actually.
Yeah.
The street looks like a supermoto though, quite a bit. The front suspension looked like you can adjust it.
I don't know how many of those we have left, and we're bringing in a replacement for those that we don't have them yet. They're coming in like next week.
Oh my God, those are supermotos, dude. Those are 17s front and rear on those. 249cc single cylinder. It's a thumper, right? Compression fork adjusted. You can adjust the forks. At $3,500, you can adjust the forks. Okay, redesigned plastics. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of running through these guys right now. Oh my God, that one's air cooled, which is fine for what we're gonna be doing for 7,000 RPM, 18 horsepower, 5-speed electric start. Yeah, this is cool, man. The warranty on that one though is a year. Or 12,000 miles.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Where do you ride? Where do you ride off road there?
I ride it. Well, technically here in New York, that's a whole other story. Unless you actually go. Unless you go. Let's not get into the logistics here, okay? We're trying to we're good boys. Right. We try to behave. We try not to get in trouble. So where I live in the burbs a little bit, they have some trails. They have some little tracks, which when I started riding locally here on the weekends, kids would see me. They were like, hey, have you seen these trails? So they started taking me around to some trails and stuff. We have a lot of open space areas. What I tend to do, me personally, I either walk my bike to open space or parking lot and then ride there kind of thing. I try to really keep it off the street, just not to be problematic and stuff. But there's a lot of potentials of where you can ride, which right behind me, I don't know if you guys could see, I have some videos coming out, just dirt bike videos coming out next week on the KLX, just really long-term review, the process of ownership and the manual, just everything. So I shot a bunch of pieces of content that's going to come out, which I think I'd like to do as well with one of these guys. It's just nuts. The funny thing is there's a KLX version. It's $10,000. The KLX 250 or 300. This is comparable to that, the XF 250 Street. And that's
I gotta say that if anyone who likes to ride off road, anyone on the East Coast, well, anywhere in America, someone needs to put together an off-road ride in Southern California because unlike in the east of the Mississippi, you go out to ride in the areas where it's legal. You know, there's a lot of protected deserts and stuff. But you go out to ride where it's legal. I don't care what bike you're on. You can just hold that throttle wide open until you fall off. It's just you don't got to worry about anything.
It's so wild you said that right now.
Go. You will run out of gas before you run out of a place to ride in.
Oh my God.
Or you can go to Glamis and you got sand dunes. You can just go crazy on giant sand dunes all day long. Just don't go where the four-wheel vehicles are. You know, they'll crush you. But yep, there's a lot of amazing stuff you can do in Cal. I mean, just, you know, a moto vacation where you can go really totally wild.
Oh my God, that would be pretty wild. It's so funny. I actually even made a video recently, and I talk about it where I go through all the gears and just pin it, and you could just go with it and really enjoy it in comparison to everything else that I have. It's like you can't really pin the throttle for that long, and it's just, and I start understanding the joy of having something in that space. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not trying to break the land speed record, but there's a segment of satisfaction with those bikes and stuff, and hopefully I can actually show people this. I've been recording a lot of content, just kind of explaining from the very beginning the purchasing process, the receiving it, working on it, causing damage and fixing and replacing it. And I think those journeys are always very interesting to highlight, especially in detail for potential people that could see and understand. Because there's a big fear, I think, when someone's spending any type of money, or at least potentially grabbing a product that they don't fully understand of what it could be or what could not be, kind of thing. So, but that thing is really, really cool, and I'm actually very excited. I mean, there are 3 different supermotos that are potentially bikes for the future. I was like, oh, that would be a great idea when I saw the dual sport here, and they have the dual sport version, which is the 250X, the XF 250X, right? And then you have the XF 250X, which is like the supermoto version on 17s. Technically here, you're going to do a tail tidy, remove the mirrors, put plates on there if you want to. You have a supermoto. Everything is on there, man. You don't have to buy supermoto wheels. If you really want to get spicy with it, right? You can just take off the wheels and get it powder coated for the colors you want. I mean, it's not going to be that much if you're already paying at this price point for the bike. Somebody also did mention here, they try to be smart mouth on the bike, and I'm not gonna let that slide. I want to kind of talk about it because we don't shy away from conversations. We bring everything up. They did mention they don't mess around with any bikes that are carbureted. Now, I don't think, I get it. If you're spending 20 grand on a bike, that makes complete sense. What is it? KLX have been running carbureted bikes forever. They have the 450, right? The DRZ. It's been decades since they've been running carbureted, and they haven't really made any changes. So,
well, if someone doesn't want carbs, it's fine. And like I said, the 450 and the 250, they'll be EFI next year. I'm not sure about the 300.
Yeah.
But you think about it. People drove across America with carbureted cars for 100 years. And they didn't all die. It was okay.
Well, the thing is, I think it's a good thing to mention, because I think it's one thing that we always do as consumers. We do this a lot. I don't want carbs. I want it to have this. I want it to have that. But the thing is, you have to keep in mind, are you ready when the price change and it goes up? You can't want this, and then when things change there, you're going to complain. You have to take it for what it is sometimes, or at least accept certain things,
I just picked up a 76 Honda 400F. It's a 4-cylinder. It's got 4 carburetors. The number 3 carb float bowl stuck. It's leaking. So in the spring, I got to take that apart, fix it. But, I love the bike. But if someone, doesn't want to deal with carbs, that's okay. There are a lot of bikes without carbs, but it's all good. A lot of people have no problem with carbs. What I'm saying is I wouldn't, it's all personal preference, so it's not a problem.
Also, it opens up a really good opportunity for you to kind of learn and understand the bike too. I mean, these are some of the things that I feared also. I mean, I share some of these sentiments early on, where like it's carb, this might happen. And I think until you actually cross that road and really have to deal with it on your own, it's not very complicated to work on, and there's tons of resources on how to understand it. I think when it's almost like very much in the beginning of the whole Grom movement, the Honda Monkey and stuff like that, I was like, oh, why would somebody want this at $6,000 or whatever it may be? But with me riding the dirt or riding locally in the neighborhood, I get it. It makes sense, and it'll make a lot more sense when you guys see some of the videos coming out. I talk about this through the videos. Like I get it. You start understanding the appeal of something like a smaller bike or what makes it special and stuff like that, and you start really fine-tuning your riding styles quite a bit. I'm noticing that I'm catching because you don't have this bulk amount of speed to go into corners or come out of corners, so you have to be really technical. You're coming into the corner, you just downshifting, no rear brake, no front brake. Let the bike slow itself down to hit the apex, so you get to maximize such a small bike. And then when you take that same skill into a bigger bike, it's very different. And I could see the overall appeal, at least with me experiencing it now, it's very different. So I think until you try something, I think I'd be a little bit more mindful, at least for now.
So I guess some people they're not mechanically inclined, and they're afraid that there might be issues. Like I have a 2-stroke 50cc scooter. I put a big bore kit in it, a pipe on it, a bigger carburetor, and I put it's got a wet nitrous injection. I got a 5-pound nitrous bottle on the luggage rack on the back, and it drives people crazy. Going that from mild to wild like that. And I love it, and I built it, and I had to put in different variator weights. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere at low RPM. But and I'm not going to explain it, but if you're not going to work out those details, if that's not you, get the bike that is matched to, your abilities, your interests. And there you go. I mean, SSR has a lot of bikes. So, and they're going to be, like I said, bringing in the FI. We're right on the edge. Carburetor's going out completely, and where our internal combustion bike's going to go, But for you and me, like you said, we love it. We love the smell. We love the sound. We love the feel of the pulse. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, I have I don't know how many bikes, maybe 6, maybe 8. I don't know. But I love bikes. I love the internal combustion engine, but times change. So we'll see.
Here's another good question that just came up. Are SSR all 4 strokes or 2 strokes? I'm assuming 5-speed with clutch and warranty. So we did talk about warranty.
Yeah. Actually, 30 days, they're all 4-stroke. They all have, we have automatic and semi-automatics on the smaller bikes. So it's all listed through there, because kids, it's harder to learn. You got to learn how to go, turn the throttle and go, and not have too much to think about. So we have automatic and semi-automatic, and full manuals also on the little bikes. So as they get bigger, no, they all have clutches.
So any 2 strokes or no?
No 2 strokes.
No 2 strokes. Then you gotta mix the oil and everything else. It's a little bit of work. Some people don't like that. Yeah, listen, man, you got that little whiny sound.
Well, exactly. In my 2-stroke, it used to be injected, but once you put on a bigger carb and a bigger piston, the injection system isn't inadequate. So I have to mix it myself before I put it in the tank. But I love it. So it's all goes. It's all good.
Let's see what else we have here. Any other question, guys? Guys, by the way, this is your time to shine if you have questions. If you guys are watching this later, I know a lot of people tend to do watch these streams later, or at least listen to them on their drive home. You can always comment in the comment section later. If you have questions about SSR Motorsports, you can ask, and I'll definitely partner with Peter and kind of answer to the best of my abilities, or at least go through some of the manuals and understand as much as possible and kind of explain some of this stuff. But I know Peter's here for a short period of time, so I won't keep you all night, which would not be fair. So this would be your last call for questions and stuff. And what I'll do is, I guess, from there, when Peter takes off, and I'll kind of hang out with everyone, kind of just go over through the site and kind of show some of the bikes and stuff like that, and kind of cover a little bit more, because it's definitely very exciting, at least for me as well. So anything you want to kind of throw in there, Peter, regarding the brand and what you foresee in the future?
I think we're good. I think I pretty much covered that.
Mm-hmm.
I got 1,000 things to do
Mm-hmm.
in 3 weeks. Get ready for the show. So yeah, let's talk again sometime after February.
Yes, let's definitely do that. I think with the season changing, definitely keeping in mind, if you guys got a loaner out there and you want me to kind of do some work on it, that'd be awesome.
We'll be getting bikes east, in the early spring.
So the door is always open. If you guys, when you do release the new products, you want to come on and then just talk about it, please feel free to come on. I would definitely love to have you back on so we can kind of look at some of the new stuff. And hopefully we drive some traction towards SSR Motorsports.
Cool.
All right, Peter. Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate you taking the hour sitting down with us. That's been really amazing.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed being here. Great.
The pleasure was all mine. You have a good night.
Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right. By the way, guys, yeah, Peter is awesome. Really, really cool information, as I mentioned with you guys here with this, throughout the stream. It's a big deal. Like when we're talking about a brand like SSR Motorsports coming on the stream and really just kind of giving us the lowdown as to what the brand is, what they bring to the table, and how is it truly an American brand that is just being manufactured overseas. That's crucial to know. And what we like to do here is really kind of bring notoriety to how things are moving in terms of what I'm interested in, what's an ideal brand you might want to look at. By the way, if you guys have any questions, comments, I'm definitely going to populate them. I'm really excited, man. This one has been a long time trying to get Peter to come on and for us to kind of sit down and talk about the brand and motorcycles and stuff. And I really thought you guys would probably enjoy it. And I think a lot of you guys, when you start watching some of the new videos I'm going to drop with the KLX 140 RL, you guys are going to really either get excited or understand the charm of having a bike that's small, that's fun, that doesn't hurt the pocket when you drop it. And I think it would even feel even better at a bike like this, because $2,000, guys, most of you guys spend that money on exhaust, on one of your big super bikes, carbon fiber, or some aesthetic stuff. But having something small like this, even if you do track days, you can load it into your truck as your pit bike. You go back and forth. That's an easy one to answer. You could take it on the dirt. If you have kids, you could buy it as a gift to your kids. For someone that's a little bit more strapped in terms of cash, instead of buying a $6,000, $7,000 bike for a kid, you can buy something at $1,500, $2,000, and also it opens up the possibility of you doing like work with your kids on the bike together and stuff like that. So I think there's just so much potential with a brand like this that that is ideal in terms of cost. And then the fun factor. I think as soon as you get on there, you ride. I sat on actually three of them while I was in the clutch control event. It felt very, very familiar in comparison to the KLX. And, outside of that, I think it's just an amazing deal. And I think I was a little bit butthurt when I didn't have to pick between, drum brake, disc brake, Kickstarter, electric starter. It had pretty much everything, man. You know what I mean? It's like, and then we're talking about the Supermoto version of this thing here. You could even adjust the forks. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of wild to think that something at this price point that you can actually do all of those things on there. And once you get past, I know a lot of you guys have fancy bikes, including myself, but once you get past some of the glitz and glamour, it's really about you just riding the bike and enjoying your experience on two wheels. And I think that's really cool. And it's actually made me a lot more comfortable when I'm on the Kawasaki. It's like, I forget about everything else, like some of the small nuances, like, when I'm on my Ducati, for example, I'm like, oh my God, I'm riding this all summer. The major maintenance is going to be this amount. You could probably calculate pretty much everything. On this bike, you're just like, listen, man, I'm just having a good time. It doesn't matter what it is. all you got to do is, once it's a shitty day outside, you can simply just, pull up in your garage, do an oil change, you know what I mean, clean it up. My last ride, which was in the rain, which was super cool. I went out to shoot some videos while it was raining. I was like, oh, you know what, why not? I didn't really care. Not that I don't care about the bike. That's not what I'm saying here at all. It's just that there's less concern of me dropping it. If I slip or something like that and I drop the bike, so what? Not a big deal. And I had such an amazing time in the rain. I actually came home an hour and a half afterwards leaving. I thought I was going to be there for like 10, 15 minutes and just getting an overall idea. I was out there for an hour and a half. I only went back home after my hands started like getting really cold from the rain and some of the cold. And I even like continued wheeling in the rain. The knobbies work great. And it's like, as soon as you have the technique down, you could either do it on any type of weather, whether it's raining or not. I had an amazing time. So, that's how it goes, man. It's really, really cool experience. By the way, guys, I have to make mention of this as well. Really, really important. I did drop my Patreon, guys. You guys might not be completely aware of it. But it's a great way if you want to support. Also, I'm doing some really cool things on there, guys. Wrong one. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing some really cool things on the Patreon. There's 3 tiers. The best man tier is going to opt you in for a chance to win over $1,000. So far, so good. We got 4 patrons. Really, really dope. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Would really like to get it up to 10. So if you're watching, you're part of this channel, you guys want to support and show love to what we do here. Again, most of the money that's being contributed goes to either equipment, parts, bikes, or whatever it is, or even giveaways. Overall, the best man tier here, I'm going to be giving away a Bell helmet, $200 for a motivation shopping voucher, a Pro Tent shield that you could wear in the daytime or nighttime. Really, really cool. You get t-shirt, key tag, leather key tab, pretty much everything that you have. You have early access to the channel. So if you guys want to show love and support, I'd really appreciate it if you guys join the Patreon. I struggle to actually do this for a hot minute because I'm like, nobody's going to want to do this. And with enough talking with a couple of friends, it was like, listen, man, we're going to join and stuff. So, and they did. So hopefully some of you guys get on board, and it definitely helps a lot with everything else. And we usually send stuff out pretty much like, I think a week after, because I think they hold your account until then. So really, really cool. There's a tier for everyone that's suitable if you want to support. So definitely, definitely cool. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just gonna pull up that site again, man. This is it right here, man. Really, really cool. So they're upgrading this Supermoto. It's gonna be a 300. So I'm assuming that might go up to 4,000 maybe. I'm actually really hoping, partnering with Peter, that I could get myself in the position where they could send me one of these motorcycles, and then we could actually really share our experience and what it's like to own one of those. And I think this would be a great platform for that. So hopefully we can get that ball rolling, and at least I'll be able to give you guys my hands-on impression, or idea of what it's like to actually have those. But it's pretty impressive that what you can get here. Just alone, these Supermoto wheels usually fairly straightforward. These guys are like maybe what, $2,000 to get them on one of the bikes alone. Looks like you have a skid plate on here. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, there's accessories also for this. Oh, this is just the helmet they're showing. Hold on. The specification. Really, really cool, man. Aluminum alloy front and rear wheel. Rear brake is 240 millimeter. Front brake is 250. 5-speed electric. Of course, carbureted. It's not a lot of horsepower, but for what this is, this is kind of just a chill bike, and really do some hooligan stuff on there. I think that would be cool, man. I always personally feel that on a bike where it's not something that you're going to spend a lot of money on, you want to make sure that you're not blowing the bank out of it, man. You don't want it to hurt when things don't go right. You know what I mean? So, all right, let me just go back here to the comment section before we wrap up. It's not going to be a very, very long night, guys. I know you guys are probably going to be watching this a little bit later on. So definitely appreciate you guys coming through and checking out what we got going on. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I pulled up the entire chat. I didn't even realize that. Let's see. Let's see. Give me a sec. You guys should check out Rider Bag. They're a nice reflected bag that could come handy if you're riding. Oh. You know the thing is, I think, are they book bags or they're just like saddle bags? I'm not a huge fan of how do you call those bags? Hold on one second, guys. Give me a second here. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I'll be right back here. Give me a sec. Be right back. I just have to pee real quick. There you go. I'm back. I'm back. Oh my God. I was holding that really badly right now. By the way, I also wanted to mention to you guys, I have some really cool guests coming on, and I promise you guys that it's not going to be a solo show pretty much, every Sunday. I'm working on bringing Mike Griffin on. He's a NFL football player. He loves motorcycles, rides really cool bikes. So we're actually in the works of making that happen. We have a couple of really cool guests. I have, what's his name? Ride More Talk Less, Shmuel. He's a event coordinator here in New York that does these amazing bike meets where everyone come through and eat, have drinks and stuff like that. He's big in the community. He's going to come through, talk with us also, just kind of give us the lowdown of things. What else here? I'm also trying to get someone from Triumph on as well. So, I mean, I'm working on a lot, guys. So stick around. I think it's going to be really cool. I think 2023 is going to be amazing. I really want to kind of push things forward. And the way it's going, I have a very good feeling for the year. So I think you guys stay tuned and please, you'll see some really cool stuff. By the way, what's the bag you're talking about? It's a backpack. It's a backpack. All right, so I got to look into this. By the way, I get quite a few companies hit me up for products, and I usually turn companies down. There's just there's a few things that bothers me when a company emails and it's like, hey, we have this product we want to try out and stuff, and then they don't have their LinkedIn just so I can validate who they are if it's official, and they don't have like a company building or something like that. I'm like, it's probably somebody shooting me a text from their bedroom or their basement or something like that, or email, and I just kind of like, avoid it. But I do get quite a few offers. I just kind of just look over them if I don't feel like it's substantial or anything like that. Cue the elevator music. I should definitely have music playing. I have like a hold screen, but I had no time to actually put that on. I just had to run out there. I had to pee really badly. He's not a fan of backpacks while riding. Yeah, I'm not a fan of anything that's on me when I'm riding. It's just one of those things, man. I think I'm a little bit of a chump when it comes to stuff like that. I just like to be free and chilling. By the way, guys, wheelie practice has been going extremely well. Having a lot of success with it. I can't wait to share some of the videos that I'm posting. Just a quick heads up, I am going to be uploading the videos, and they're going to be ahead of schedule for anyone that's joined the Patreon account. They'll see them way ahead. So I'm probably going to have maybe a few days ahead or something like that. Who knows? I haven't worked out the complete kinks. And then they'll go live. I really hope you guys enjoy the KLX series I'm going to be uploading for like New York City or New York rides. Because I think those videos are very special. They have a little bit of magic in it. Like the excitement, I feel like it's reinvigorating of me riding bikes again, or at least discovering certain things that I love about bikes that I think got lost in translation because I was so into some of the fancy stuff. And it's really refreshing, and I'm documenting it from the jump. We're talking about buying, breaking parts, oil change, you know, replacing chain or replacing tire. I've just been documenting so much. I've uploaded a total of 15 videos, and I have a bunch more that are being cut down. I'm just like preemptively cutting them and stuff like that, and prepping them. So I'm gonna be doing, I am gonna be uploading 3 videos a week. So if you're watching, thumbs up, comment, share it with somebody. And then the big bike videos will come back when the season gets better. But for now, it's going to be a lot of the smaller bikes. But you will be seeing like installs or other stuff on the larger bikes and stuff like that. So, but it's really exciting. I feel like I'm cutting my videos better. I'm telling a better story. There's some kind of value in it. And the attention span is there. It's not completely like boring or anything like that. All of the videos are stretched between 2 minutes to 6 minutes at max. So they're very small bursts on a small bike experience. And I think those videos are really cool. I'm actually super proud of them. I think they're even a better quality or higher level of production on them than some of my other videos. Again, a lot of it has like reintroduced the excitement to doing YouTube again, so I'm very excited. I haven't picked the days yet, but it will be 3 days and then the stream, so it'd be like up to 4, and then I'll upload them as shorts. Also, Covert Mecha mentioned to me, and Solo Rider also mentioned, just going back to Instagram as well. So the shorts that I'm gonna put up on YouTube, I'm gonna flow those also to Instagram as Reels, since you guys will just like definitely get in there and do it. So I'll try to do those as well. So excited for that. Let's see what I got here. Gotcha. I've known of the company for years, just not much about them. I'll definitely check it out. I don't have any problems trying something out. The only time I'm finding, I have a small bag that I carry when I go to ride the dirt bike. I basically carry 2 GoPros now. One is recording the wheelie practice from the outside, and I also have it set up on my new mic setup. Really cool, guys. The audio is super clean. It's easy to clamp it on and clamp it off. Just all of it is just so good. I'm just having an amazing time, and I can't wait to share that, man. Mike, my buddy has one of those 22 speed triples, 1250. I think you said you liked them before. He loves it. Yeah, so today I was in how do you call it? Cycle Gear, and I lightly mentioned the Triumph. And next week, well, actually not even next week, this week coming, I think I'm going to take a day and go to a dealership. There seems to be a dealership locally here that I could check out, not the one here in New York City. I'm told the service is a lot better, so I'm gonna go out there. Probably A&I gonna go there, and I'm gonna check it out. I don't need a speed triple, but a street triple, something smaller. I'm told though those bikes are a little dated in terms of like the weight and stuff. They're pretty heavy, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I do like the triple. I like the sound. I like how it rides, and that's definitely something that's on the cards as well. And it does fall into a reasonable price point. They got a small crossbody version. Lots of laugh. Why do I always read the lots of laugh? It's so stupid. I know it's there. I shouldn't have to read it, but it's like, but not just for Mike. You should all look into it. Increase visibility, specifically if you're riding in the dark. What's the name again? Tell me again. Let me pull this up so we could at least look at it together. Why not? Ideally, I try to have situations where I'm talking with the company or someone from the brand. By the way, guys, if you know anybody that's in the industry or some kind of industry connect or whatever, you want them to come on and have a conversation, let me know or message them. Send them the link of the show and stuff like that. Let them know what's going on, what we do. And I think, you know, that would be helpful as well. Mike, you might want to look into a Rubicanda. Is that how you pronounce that? Rubicanda? That they make most versatile tire change for bikes. Okay. Oh, guess what I did? I bought something today also, guys. I bought a dirt bike stand. I'm doing a chain cleaning video for the dirt bike since I've been riding it. Oh, A is going to pass it to me. Let's see if I can get my hands on it. Let's see here. I bought a... Oh. I don't want to hit anything here with this. Yeah, so I bought this today, which was pretty cool. And of course, you guys could see I slapped my stickers on there, motivation and stuff like that. But it's not like a giant purchase, but it's really cool. I'm just really getting into the dirt bike world, man, and just having a lot of good times with it. And I thought of putting the bike on a bucket to do the some of the maintenance, and I just thought it wouldn't look very professional, so I'm like, I'll just get this anyway. And very excited. You guys will see some of the stuff that I'm doing on there. Let's see here. Triumph is Elmford's, New York, taking $1,000 off their 22 bikes. Elmsford? Triumph in Elmsford, New York. Where's Elmsford, New York? $1,000 off their 22 bikes. I don't know where Elmsford is, but I'll take a look. Let's see what else here. Yeah, I think the SSR Motorsports are designed in the USA. It's by, I think, an Asian American, and then he does the manufacturing in China. I mean, it is what it is, man. Let's be real. Pretty much everything is like made out of China anyway, so. No, they're not made in the USA. The designer's from California. He's American. They designed everything here. They manufacture the parts for the SSR Motorsports brand in China. Pretty much like what most people do anyway. Any massive company. So what's up? Oh, it's near Connecticut. A said that place is near Connecticut. That's probably like an hour and a half out from me. Westchester. Oh, he's got money. Westchester. Just taking a quick look at the rest of the comments here. That's what you gotta say. Okay, it's my turn to get filthy and go out and practice wheelies. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, make picking the most 1000cc possible, but I mainly just cruise though. Yeah, I mean, cruising is definitely cool, man. I'm cool with that too. Thanks for the conversation though. Covering those, Mike. Thanks for covering those, Mike. One of these might be good for my nephew starting out. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you want to be impressive to like your niece or nephew, you know, you usually spend money on them anyway. If they potentially like bikes and stuff, you go and find like a how do you call it? Any of the dealership that support these guys. You don't even have to buy a big one. The price range is so ridiculous, man. I'm just gonna pull this up. That's how crazy it is. I mean, when initially I thought it would be something cool for myself, and then I started looking into it more and more, and I'm like, I gotta share this with you guys. I have to partner with Peter, and I just didn't want it to be like problematic. And it's something I've been working on getting him on. He's very busy. There's other things that he does as well that's kind of important. This is why we only had like an hour with him, and I started the show a little bit early just to make sure that we get as much information as possible. Yeah, it's a great way to kind of let me see here. I'm just pulling this up. It's it's still mind-blowing to me, at least for me. I know to some people this might not be a big deal, but hold on, I'm just gonna. Yeah, look at that. I mean, you have a full price range here. So like if you have a small kid, 50cc, that's under $600. These are not big bikes, you know. I'm not trying to say that, oh, you could get one of these bikes, you know, you have something you can get as a gift for a kid if you have a kid also. And then from there, if you're looking for something to mess around for yourself, anything in the 125s to the 140 and 160 cc's, you're good. You will have a good time with that, man. And my bike was like $5,000. This is like half the price, man. This is half the price, and you'll get pretty much way more than what I got, at least from what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Let's click on this one right here, which I have opened this one before. Kickstarter, disc brake, front and rear. Also, I think you have a bigger, tire in the front as well. Let's see here. Well, it's only 4-speed. The KLX is 5-speed, but let's be real, man. I mean, for what I'm doing, I'm usually pretty much between 1 and 3 gears. You know, riding that bike. It's not like let's see, dirt bike here. And for dirt bikes, for you guys that are out there, 300, 250, you know, there's a size for pretty much anyone that's looking to practice, man. And to be honest, if I kind of knew about this already, I would have spent the money buying this instead of the Kawasaki. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not happy with the Kawi or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. It's just money-wise, I would have rather saved the money because, let's be real, spending money to learn or to dump something, it's not smart. Something that's a little bit more cost-effective, that's a no-brainer right here. You know what I mean? It's costing you less for you to get a lot more of a value. So that's a win. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sounds like you just need a massive space to practice, build your discipline. Yeah. Oh my God. A's like throttle happy in my opinion. So and there's a cycle gear in Terrytown, which is like 15 minutes away from the dealer. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm you know, Triumph, BMW have a soft spot in my heart. So, you know, if I could find something that's kind of cool, I'm just really curious about the weight. 675. If it's not heavy, that's great. But if it's heavy, I think that's when a bike starts feeling dated, or at least they're using cheaper material to make it. But I love the way it sounds, the way it rides the power curve. So it's a good potential. We'll definitely see how that kind of fan out. So, anywho, guys, it's been a really, really cool night. I'm very excited, and having Peter on was a little nerve-wracking. I'm just gonna say it now. In the beginning, maybe because I was early and I was ahead of schedule. But it was a fun conversation, and if you guys enjoy it, definitely hit the thumbs up, leave a comment in the description. I'll try to answer as much as possible. I'll leave a link to the SSR Motorsports website for you guys to see some of these cool bikes that are really inexpensive for you to just run amok on or whatever. That would be great. And let us know what you think, man. I think it was really cool having them on. I am on Patreon. Definitely become a patron if you want to support what I'm doing. There's 3 tiers, so everyone can kind of contribute if you'd like. That'd be pretty dope. And yeah, man, Sasong, get to work, clean those balls, shave up those dreadlocks, and order yourself. Use coupon code CFNY20 for free shipping and 20% off. I'll catch you guys next Sunday. Peace. Good show. Thank you all for coming through, guys. Have a good night.